One of the most common questions that are asked in the sales world, and I get asked this a lot, is should you do a discovery on its own call, a dedicated call, and then schedule a demo the following day, the following week, or should it be a disco demo on the same call? The answer is it depends. If you are selling in an enterprise solution, let's call it mid-market enterprise, mid to high enterprise or strategic, then it tends to be a little bit more of a complex sale. The sales cycle lasts longer. It's minimum 6 months, 12 months, sometimes more. And so doing a disco demo probably won't work because if it's a complex sale or complex product and there's a lot of like decision makers and influencers and other people in the company that you're prospecting to, then what I would recommend is a discovery call on its own. Potentially more than one discovery call would be required, and then more than one demo would be required. So you probably wouldn't be able to knock it out as one. And if you try to, you wouldn't be successful at it compared to the people that are having dedicated disco calls multiple times potentially, and dedicated discovery calls and dedicated follow-up calls. So that's what I'd recommend if you're in enterprise or strategic sales. If you are in SMB, mid-market, then the sales cycles tend to be a lot less, obviously. Like SMB market, the sales cycle is anywhere from like 90 days max to 7 days. It really depends on the product. And mid-market could be also 45 days to 90 days. So it really ranges. But it's usually not as complex. You may have more than one decision maker, but if your product is relatively straightforward, you could probably knock out a disco and demo on one call. Let's just say you have a 45-minute call blocked out on the calendar for a disco demo. You do about a 10-minute or so discovery call. If you know how to do it well, then you could ask your pillar discovery questions in the first 10 minutes. Any additional questions you want to ask, you can ask it throughout the demo. You can sprinkle it throughout the demo. But that's what I would recommend. So disco demo. So it really depends. So you got to ask yourself, where are you in the space? Are you in enterprise? Are you in SMB? Are you in mid-market? How complex is your product? How complex is the buying process? What's the average sales cycle? These are things to consider before deciding, yes, I'm going to do a disco and demo, or yes, I'm going to do a disco, then I'll do a demo. You got to make that decision by first assessing your current situation.